So just so you know, I'm starting a challenge which I did a while back where I did pretty much a live. I'm gonna call it the Daily K, and welcome people. You guys are just coming in. So I see Cambum, I see Artista, I see several people. So welcome guys, but just to let everybody know, I'm doing a daily challenge, which is called the Daily K, and I'm just pretty much gonna go live every single day, regardless of what's gonna happen or not. Right now, I've got it a little set up, but I'll pretty much be on the go. I wanted to have the Instagram and the Facebook going, Facebook in the bottom, Instagram in the top, and see which maybe which format is better, you know. So Daily V today, one big thing the Daily K, similar to Daily V. Wow. That's where I came up with it. But anyways, I just had like a few thoughts and a few things that I had today. Today I had to meet up with a couple of friends as well as coworkers and business partners. And the main thing that stuck out in my head is we're all hourly wages, and do we even realize what we're earning? And I'll get to it in a second why it meant so much, how much we're getting paid per hour. And not in the normal sense where we're looking for $10 an hour, $20 an hour. And yes, those who are also salary, guess what? You're paid hourly as well. Why? Because you have a year, you have a finite time. You're being paid based on how many times you showed up and how many days. So you still got to be there. If it's the normal salary, eight hours a day, 5 days a week, and normally most people they're working more than that. So your wage, if you actually count the hours, it's actually less. So the main thing that came to that is that when I started businesses, I was thinking like when I was in high school, $10 an hour was great. Then $15 an hour was even better. When I was lifeguarding, that's the kind of wages you were getting, which entry level was great, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But then when I started getting into salary, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, that started to be the case, and that was the norm, and that was actually pretty well off compared to a lot of people and what the norm is in the average. That was fine. Now, it wasn't until I started getting into business, started getting into more and more, delving into the investing realm and several other things where I started realizing like, holy shit, the dollar per hour really does matter, because what matters there is how you spend your time. When you're in a job, you're spending your hours usually as an employee. You're probably looking to do most of the work within a few hours, because I know plenty of people, plenty of employees. Like you guys can bang out 8 hours in just 1 hour, 2 hours, the serious work. Then the rest of it is just staying around, doing some maintenance stuff and just regular things, just moving around, maybe even talking to your coworker. And there's nothing wrong with that, but if you think about it, that means that you literally could get whatever you're earning in a day, and if you find a way to earn that in an hour or 2 hours, that's probably your specialty. That's what you should be doing instead. And if you could find a way to do that, that's amazing. Now, I wanted to use an example today, and by the way, welcome everybody. I see everybody pouring in, just like everything. And Rafael, you said, starting a vlog YouTube channel? Well, yeah, I already have a YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's with my KDN Jimenez. You could check it out. It's in my bio as well. So it's linked. If anything, you can always go to kdnjimenez.com and check out media. I'm always referenced there. You can find me anywhere. I had the KDN Show, which is pretty much tips daily. And I'm going to just do the KDN, the Daily K, which is a 90-day challenge, which I'm going to do. I already did this before for 1 month. I go live pretty much for 90 days. But the main thing I want to do here is it's like building a habit where you're doing something, and then next thing you know, you're getting into it, you get more comfortable, and you start doing it over and over, and it becomes your thing. So I just like doing these challenges from time to time, and now I'm trying to kick it up to the 90-day challenge, and I'll probably make it a half a year, and if not more. But just the things that are in my head on a daily basis, not only me, anybody, but in this case, this is KDN's vlog, right? So this is going to be the Daily K. It's going to be what's bothering me, what's making sense to me, regardless if I'm up, regardless if I'm ready, regardless if I'm a regular teacher, regardless if I'm in a suit, doesn't matter. I'm going to be on it, and I don't know at what time. I'll probably do it after work, so that's probably 6 p.m. or maybe late at night. And I'll talk about what's on my mind, and just to go back on what I was saying, because honestly, it's a powerful idea, but it's small, it's short. When you think about it, it's simple, but it's so powerful. Like before I was saying, $10 an hour mattered a lot when I was in high school. $15 mattered a lot when I was there. Then 20, 30, that was salary. Then it started getting, then the 50 per hour realm and the $100 per hour realm, that's huge salaries you're talking about. But then there's the next level shit that most people don't realize that they can do. If you're spending 8 hours a day and you're earning about $200 and most of the work you did is within an hour or 2 hours, and I'm talking about the heavy load, the real work. If you manage to do all the real heavy work, you probably did 80% of the work within an hour or two. And if you realize it, if you can condense your 8 hours, and that could be in the form of contracting, the form of business, whatever it may be, you find a way. Artists do this all the time. You think about it. They write a song, may take them a couple of weeks, but they're getting paid for the lifetime. That's reducing the amount of time and effort you got to put in order to get money back out. So if you use that, you're pretty much, let's say it's a $200 day, 8 hours. You do that in 1 hour, you just got paid $200 an hour. Do you get that? That's huge. Now it's simple, but most people miss it. When it comes to that, then there's the next level stuff, because the $100 mean a lot. In the beginning, you should be doing those yourself, but little by little, if you can do something that's minimum wage, you shouldn't be doing it yourself if you're in the position to do more than that. If you have a talent, if you have a skill, anything that usually has to do with relationships or getting money, making deals happen, doing big things. And I'll use artists as a big thing, because if you're like the music maker, nobody else can do that. You can't hire another person to do that. You're the image, you're the talent, you're the one who's writing that down. So you cannot be outsourcing that or giving it to somebody else for $7 an hour. Maybe it's possible to get a ghostwriter, but for most of the cases, when it's you, your style, it's pretty hard to replicate, so you got to do that. And guess what? That turns into the $1,000 hours and the $10,000 hours work, which is you. If you can outsource everything else out of the 8 hours, and you have 7 hours out of those, you outsource to somebody else, you're paying $7 on that, $10, let's say. You paid $70 for somebody else to take care of those other 7 hours, but you have that 1 hour where you're making that music, you're making the artistry, you're making the business, you're making anything happen, and you earned $1,000 or $10,000 in that 1 hour. That is called millionaire, billionaire status. That is how they think. That is what they're doing. That's how you spend your time right. You don't spend it on doing things by yourself and trying to take on the world by yourself, because you will lose all your time. That has to do a lot with the video that I just put out, but that which you can catch it on YouTube. Shameless plug. Hashtag boom. And yeah. Anyways, I see the comments you're making. Inflation price has been on incline for a while. Raphael was saying. Meanwhile, people's wages have been stagnant. People can't keep up unless they give more time of their life working more hours or to employers. That's the issue. Most people think that you have to have another job in order to make more money. And for most cases, most people don't know any other solution. And I always say this, you learn money not at school, you learn it from your parents. You learn it from the generations. So if your parents weren't business people, weren't artists, weren't anything else other than the traditional worker, the only thing you're going to learn is probably how to work as they did. And so you're not going to have the concept of doing something else outside of just getting another job. Because most people, on average, if you need more money, you're looking for another job. In the case of, let's say, a business person or an artist, if I need more money, I'm going to sell more products. That has nothing to do with my time. I do not need to give another hour. So instead of selling 10 pencils, or anything, courses, I'm going to sell 20 of them. And that's not going to take me more time. That just means me putting in more of an order. If you're an artist, then that means write another song. It's like, there's ways of scaling up when you don't have to use time. And that's where that's powerful, but not everybody thinks like that. So it's simple, yet powerful. If you can grasp that, that's going to change your life. And the big example I wanted to leave was that, like, I had a conversation for like 30 minutes. Maybe an hour if you count the text that went between each other and everything, that I've done this before. I've told you that I've already went through the salary realm. I'm still actually on my day job and everything, because it is good money. But when you start realizing the potential of using your hours right, you start realizing that you have so much more that you can give. Your hour matters so much more. Your life matters so much more, has so much more value. And so out of a 30-minute conversation, an hour conversation, speaking about a particular deal I had in real estate, within this last year, I've had and this is going to sound like a humble brag in a way, but tens of thousands of dollars go through my hands just on 30 minutes and within an hour. And that's because when you establish the stuff you're good at, if you're an artist, that's probably going to be writing the music. If you're a businessman and do relationships, which is the main thing I do, I talk to people, I make deals happen together. And for example, I have a check right here. I had it just to randomly wait. I don't want to show his name, but you can see there's like 6K right there, and that was earned in 30 minutes. Now, that's not money I'm gonna keep. It's part of an investment, but it shows you the power when it comes to doing what you're good at. Like, you start learning how to capital raise. That's what you're good at. If you're good at getting deals together, then you should be doing that. Utilizing that hour to do the things that matter to you. Now, instead of those other 8 hours that I could have been just putting down, crunching down data, I don't moving through a desktop, doing certain things, I have other people do that. And that's how it works. Like, right now, transitioning to a job, the 9 to 5 that I have, is becoming so much easier to start going to my business full time, because it's just producing so much more the more time you put in. And it's so fucking powerful. Now, let me read the rest of the stuff you guys are saying. Let me see. Right here. So, Rafael. Well, Saed said, hi, hey, how are you? And Rafael said, shouldn't higher minimum wage, especially in New York, should have been at 15 hours years ago. Although I am aware that that can destroy small business and make them suffer. Yes, minimum wage. That's a hard topic to talk about, because a lot of people are underpaid. And the thing is that you have a conflict of interest. People always want to get paid more, and businesses always want to pay the least they can so they can have their business running. And without one, you can't have the other. So you can't have a functional business if you need employees, and so you won't work without them. And you can't have a functional business without the actual business, so the employees can't be hired. So it doesn't work without each other, and that's where you got to realize, like, there has to be a compromise between the two. And I don't know how they're going to come up to that. I don't know why 15 is the number. I don't know if that's actually should be the number, because honestly, it depends on what the work is. If you're flipping burgers and doing things like that, I got to say, there's a reason why a lot of McDonald's are automating that and making robots take the orders now instead of the actual humans. Like, you try to push somebody so hard, putting their back against the wall, they're gonna fight back. McDonald's is not gonna stay like that and say, "Oh, now I'm gonna pay double the wage just because you said, Mr. Government." It's not that easy. You gotta also be fair to the business as well, because it's easy to lose money in business. Very easy. Anybody could become an entrepreneur and lose money. To be a successful business is fucking hard, and that takes time. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys with that anyways, because I already went past my rant. This is the Daily K, and I'm gonna do it every freaking day. So I love you guys, and let me see if I end it. I'll leave the little link so you guys know where else you can find the rest of the vlog, the vlog, and I hope to speak to you guys more and talk back and forth. Where's the damn period? And it looks like my Facebook gave up. That's funny. Well, you guys already know the deal. Let me see who else. Media. So that's KDNmedia.com. Daily V. I mean, I'm totally going to be messing that up for a while. It's a Daily K. Well, now you know where I draw my inspiration from. Some of it, at least. Daily K. There you go. Alright. Alright, guys. Enjoy. Love ya. Don't want to see you too long.